excited to get these types of events started. Keegan and our vice captains put us in a position to succeed. You know, they did everything that was asked of them, and I had extreme confidence in what this team could do. And that's due to our captain. I think they did an amazing job. Keegan did an amazing job, and I mean,
Bethpage Black turned from battleground to circus, and somehow Scottie Scheffler ended up at the center of it all. Europe's win was only half the story. The real shock came after the trophy was lifted, when golf's #1 grabbed the mic and dropped a confession no one saw coming. What did Scheffler admit, and why did it leave golf rattled? Stick around to find out.
My emotions yesterday afternoon when the matches ended, I think it's hard to put into words how much it hurts to lose all 4 matches, to have the trust of my captain and my teammates to go out there and play all 4 matches and lose all 4.
From the moment the first ball was struck, the energy at Bethpage Black was less golf gallery and more college football tailgate gone wrong. Friday and Saturday were loud, sure, but by the time Europe started pulling away, that raucous energy tipped straight into toxic. Clips flew around Instagram of fans jeering Rory McIlroy mid-swing, booing European caddies as they walked by, and chanting like it was an SEC showdown instead of a Ryder Cup. Saturday afternoon's 4-ball session became the boiling point. Sky Sports cameras picked up one particularly nasty chant that spread like wildfire online, instantly framing the mood as hostile rather than passionate. The atmosphere bled into play. European players looked distracted. American stars looked rattled, and the line between home advantage and hostile abuse had clearly been crossed. By Sunday night, Team Europe lifted the trophy in what should have been a triumphant celebration. Instead, the moment felt like it was drenched in bad vibes, with American fans booing as the trophy presentation unfolded. What was supposed to be a proud defense of home turf ended up looking more like a PR disaster for the PGA. The Ryder Cup had always thrived on fire and tension, but this felt like chaos without boundaries. If the Ryder Cup was a circus, Scottie Scheffler was its most unwilling clown. Entering the weekend as the undisputed world #1, Scheffler was supposed to anchor Team USA, the man to guarantee points and deliver dominance. Instead, he opened the event with 3 straight losses. By Saturday evening, the narrative had already shifted. The best golfer on the planet couldn't buy a win. Analysts circled his missed putts, his shaky foursome pairings, his inability to ignite momentum. Passion or pure chaos? Did Bethpage fans go too far? Or is this just what makes the Ryder Cup electric? Drop your take in the comments.
Scheffler matches it.
And when Europe finally clinched on Sunday, Scheffler didn't duck the cameras. He stepped into them. His announcement wasn't flashy, but it was seismic, calling the week one of the lowest moments of my career. In his post-match interview and a reflective Instagram post, he admitted he'd let his teammates down, his fans down, and himself down. That vulnerability, rare for golf's stoic superstars, became the viral headline. No, he wasn't retiring. No, he wasn't blaming the crowd. Instead, he offered something almost scarier: honesty. He promised to learn, to come back stronger, but the tone was unmistakable. Scheffler had just been broken in public. And in a sport obsessed with individual brilliance, watching the world's #1 implode in team play struck a raw nerve across golf media. Was this a blip or the start of a bigger unraveling? If Saturday was ugly, one single clip turned it into an international scandal. As Rory McIlroy walked off during the 4-ball session, a beer cup sailed from the crowd and struck near his wife, Erica Stoll, splashing her in the process. The video spread instantly. You can see McIlroy stop, turn, and visibly check if she was okay. In that moment, golf's genteel image was shattered. This wasn't banter. It was assault by alcohol, caught in 4K. Social media lit up in outrage, clips reposted with captions like "disgraceful" and "ban these fans forever." McIlroy himself didn't hold back, calling out the abusive atmosphere and asking security to step up. Team Europe's captain, Luke Donald, went on record saying the crowd had crossed a line, while commentators like Tom Watson offered public apologies for what they called shameful conduct. By Sunday, the beer throw incident had become the symbol of Bethpage chaos, splashed across headlines, dissected on talk shows, fueling endless debate about alcohol at golf tournaments. Was it just one idiot in the stands, or a symptom of a crowd completely out of control? The answer didn't matter, because the image had already cemented itself. This Ryder Cup would forever be remembered less for putts and drives than for a drink tossed in anger. A tournament built on honor had instead produced the sport's most viral disgrace. As if jeers and flying drinks weren't enough, Saturday afternoon delivered the most surreal twist. Players and caddies jawing at each other like it was a boxing weigh-in. Bryson DeChambeau found himself toe-to-toe with Justin Rose and Tommy Fleetwood, flanked by their caddies, in a heated argument that cameras captured in excruciating detail. It started on the 15th hole, when crowd noise and frustration boiled over. DeChambeau, visibly irritated, exchanged words with Rose, while Fleetwood's caddy got in close enough to make the whole thing look like a schoolyard standoff. Fans circled in, cell phones out, and within minutes the clips were bouncing across X and Instagram. Analysts tried to spin it as competitive passion, but the optics told another story. Team USA unraveling under pressure, Europe standing their ground with icy composure. Even Scheffler's camp wasn't immune, with reports surfacing of verbal back and forth near his group as tempers spiked. Ryder Cups are emotional, sure, but this felt like a full-blown soap opera with golf clubs as props. By Sunday morning, the confrontation was already a meme. Screenshots captioned with, "Tell me you're American without telling me," flooded feeds, and golf Twitter had a field day mocking DeChambeau's temper. In a tournament drowning in chaos, the player-caddy standoff became Exhibit B, proof that Bethpage wasn't just out of control in the stands, but inside the ropes too. Respect to Scottie for keeping it real. But do you see this as a blip, or the start of a bigger unraveling for golf's number one? Subscribe and weigh in below. When Europe hoisted the trophy, the chaos didn't stop. It metastasized. Media outlets churned out op-eds faster than highlights. Ban the drunks. Reform security. Embarrassment on US soil. The Guardian blasted the fan conduct. Golf 365 ran a scathing recap of the worst moments. And on American cable, talking heads debated whether crowd mics should have been cut as though this was a congressional hearing instead of a golf broadcast. Social media only threw gas on the fire. Video threads dissected the beer toss frame by frame, memes ridiculed US fans, and influencers called for lifetime bans. Former US Ryder Cup legends like Tom Watson even issued public apologies, saying they were ashamed of what unfolded in their own backyard. Meanwhile, tournament organizers scrambled, promising reviews, audits, and future improvements. The standard PR foghorn when things go bad. But the damage was already done. Instead of celebrating brilliant golf, the sports world was chewing over security failures, alcohol sales policies, and whether the Ryder Cup was turning into a soccer-style powder keg. In the end, the narrative wasn't about Europe's win. It was about American fans losing control. Bethpage had become a case study in how a crowd's passion can drown the very sport they came to celebrate. And that became the Ryder Cup's global headline. Not Europe victorious, but golf humiliated. So where does golf go from here? For Scottie Scheffler, the answer came in a rare moment of humility. His announcement wasn't some dramatic mic drop, but a quiet recognition. This was a failure, a lesson, and a scar he'd carry into the next chapter. He vowed to learn, to come back stronger, and for fans desperate for a narrative, that promise is now the cliffhanger. For Team USA, though, the issues run deeper. Chemistry was a mess, pairings failed, and leadership looked shaky under the spotlight. Analysts are already speculating about captaincy shakeups before 2027 in Ireland, while whispers of culture change circle golf media like vultures. The PGA and DP World Tour are equally under pressure to police crowds, sober up the atmosphere, and draw a line before another tournament spirals into viral disgrace. The stakes are clear. Golf can embrace the roar or restore respect, but trying to do both might break the sport entirely. For now, Scheffler's quiet reflection and Europe's champagne-soaked celebration bookend a Ryder Cup that will be remembered not for birdies or pars, but for booze, and brawls. Bethpage Black delivered passion all right, just the kind nobody wanted on the scorecard. Europe got the trophy, America got the shame, but who do you think really lost the Ryder Cup? The players, the fans, or the sport itself? Let us know in the comments and stay tuned, because the fallout is just beginning.